Hi everyone, comic reviewer here. This time reviewing on Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 79, IDW comic review. Now, as you know, we are at the final battle between Wisper the Wolf and Mimic the sort of octopus. And obviously, yeah, this is meant to be like the final confrontation and this kind of big showdown between the lone wolf and the friend turned traitor. And let's get on with the story. It starts off in Rainbow Ravine. We see how Cream shows up, tries to act all nice and friendly, and we see Wisper saying, "Here on holiday?" "Haha, this place is so pretty." "No cheese?" And right away, Wisper knows something's not right with Cream, and can tell right away. "Is something wrong, Miss Wisper?" "You've done your homework, Mimic." Mimic, how could you say such a thing?" "I counted for cheese and got the mother's name right." But right away she points out one fatal flaw of Cream. Cream has manners and doesn't call her mum Mummy. And we see how, obviously, due to Mimic not getting all of Wisper's new friend's details right, of course he makes it clear, saying, "And that's what we used to do for the diamond cutters, no? Scout ahead, learn the enemy, give the team the edge. Until you betrayed us to Dr. Eggman." And we kind of see how they both kind of take it out on each other. How Mimic says that he got captured by Eggman and had to sell them out. But of course, right away, Wisper knows that this is going to be the final showdown. She knows she has to come prepared, knowing that Mimic is too dangerous to be kept alive. And obviously, we know full well to Wisper, Mimic is obviously playing on her emotions. And obviously, yeah, she makes it clear to Mimic, you weren't there for the team. She was. She was the one playing the supporting role. Mimic wasn't. And we see how Mimic wants to end this once and for all, but it also becomes clear that Wisper's come with backup. Silver the Hedgehog. And we see him saying, "You coward! Still using others as a clutch! Idiot! Still thinking you can do everything on your own! I'm the only one I can count on!" And we see how he tries to kind of make a break for it. We do kind of see how Silver tries to kind of make sure to save the other bystanders. And we see how, after kind of keeping track of Mimic, they mainly head to where the market is and poses as a random bystander. And even Tangle gives the full detail to what Mimic looks like. So we kind of see how Wisper has to kind of keep track to where Mimic could be. And of course, what way one of her wisps knows right away it's Mimic, and obviously tries to take him on. We see how Silver tries to say, "There's no escape now." But we kind of see how Mimic tries everything that he can to try and escape. But due to Tangle as well as Wisper trying to kind of keep Mimic away from escaping, we see how Wisper says, "Good, go," and crashes down to some rock piles and says, "You brat, no, there's enough out of you." And we kind of see how Mimic reaches to his breaking point and turns into a giant creature, saying, "I refuse to go out like this!" Yikes! And of course, we see how Wisper uses one of her wisps to make a giant hammer, crushes Mimic into his monster form down, and this is where he's beaten to a pulp. And just as she's about to blast Mimic, we kind of see how, yeah, they try to kind of get her to pay attention, but we see how Mimic realizes that he's going to end up being killed or captured, so of course has to take himself out, gets blown up to smithereens, and Silver's saying, "Oh crap, drop me!" And we kind of see how they manage to save Wisper, and of course Silver using his ability to save everyone from the collapsing rocks. We see how Tangle mainly gets up to Wisper, uses Wisper's special gun, and uses the sort of green hover wisp to help kind of get them down and safe. But of course, we kind of see how Minik's pieces and that fall into the river, and this does kind of heavily imply that Minik could return, as squids and octopuses can actually regenerate their limbs. So it's possible parts of Minik might grow into a sort of new form, or bring him back to his original state. We kind of see how Tango asks if she's okay, but we see how to Wisper's joy and happiness that the nightmare of Minik is finally over, and that her teammates have finally been avenged. And we kind of see how Wisper now finally understands what is there now, as she's never really had a after battle plan. But we kind of see how Tangle makes it clear, for starters, to just go home. And yeah, we finally see that to Wisper, the nightmare is finally over. This whole bad dream is finally at an end. We kind of see how in Rainforest we kind of see how Sonic, Espio, Charmy, and Vector use Clutch's coordinates to find out where the whole robot recycler is, but we kind of see how something is going to happen now, leading up to issue 80. And this is the story. So I think issue 79 isn't too bad. I know it's trying to hint that Minik is going to be finally killed off, but due to squids and octopuses regenerating their limbs, it's obviously clear that parts of Minik that fell into the river might reformulate and make Minik into a new version. So it kind of hints that obviously Minik is going to return. It's going to have Wisper realizing that the nightmare is far from over, as it's much like Clayface. Take him out, parts of his clay will come back. So I think it's definitely an enjoyable issue, but it definitely teases that Minik could easily return due to his limbs can be able to regenerate. So it definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still enjoyable. So, Comic Book Reviewer here, signing out.